I'm Gary Robinson, and I'm from the Salt Lake City area. Live in a town called Saratoga Springs, south of Salt Lake City. Born and raised in Utah. Many opportunities to leave, and I decided to stay there. And my career took me around the world, but I always lived in Salt Lake. I was diagnosed in November of 2009. I probably had this disease for about 7 years before anyone discovered what it was. I was told it was eczema, and put ointments on it, just never seemed to go away. I changed my primary physician. He looked at it and says, "What is this? How long have you had it?" And I told him. He said, "Well, you need to go to my dermatology friend." So I went to him, and he looked at it, and he says, "I know what you have, and you're going to die with it." And I was just flabbergasted. "What do you mean?" I was trying to process this. And he says, "You won't die from it. You'll die with it." He took a biopsy. Very first biopsy was the right one. Sent it to the cancer center in Salt Lake City. And within days, I was up there meeting with them and confirming what I had. They told me I had CTCL. I had a classic case of it, that they wanted more pictures of this to be able to show people so they could educate them on how to identify this. So they took pictures of me, went to a national conference that weekend and showed those pictures around of my body with this disease on it. And that's the way I was introduced to this. I became kind of the poster child for that moment with what I had and the form I had. I'm in remission right now, so I have no treatments. I have no sign of the disease on my body. But I was diagnosed at stage 1B. So it's CTCL-MF, stage 1B is what I have. When I was diagnosed, the doctor decided to just go with the ultraviolet light, the UVB form of that, and sent me to a light box that I would go there 3 times a week and be exposed to a very narrow band ultraviolet light treatment. No medications were introduced at that time, and I went through that treatment 3 days a week. They tapered it down over time when the rash went away, the spots went away. I was declared free of that for about 2 years. I did not have any more evidence of that and no more treatment. And then I had 2 come back on my arm. So they had me do some more treatment, but they let me go to a tanning bay to do it at a tanning salon. And so I did the treatment there for a period of time. They went away again, and I've been free of it again since. And that was in the fall of 2012 when it came back again briefly. I wish I would have known when I was first diagnosed on the treatment side of this was how to prepare for that light treatment. I think now doctors are a little more aware of what to prepare the patient for. But I went to the light treatment initially not really knowing what to expect. And just some very simple things like how to apply the lotion over the body, particularly the back. What do you need to have to be able to get that lotion on the back so that when you step into that light box, you've got the maximum penetration of the light rays. That's something I had to kind of learn along the way or ask different people. The proper way to protect myself while I was in there. I had the goggles and everything else, but I started out with a jock strap and later on learned that I need to use a sock. Interesting things, they just don't tell us. They figure we'll figure it out ourselves, but it was very important in that whole phase. Don't look at the internet without knowing more about this disease. That can be very scary out there. I went out as soon as I heard about what I had. I wasn't told to refrain from that. I went out and looked at the pictures and it just scared me. Looking at what people look like on there. The worst case, you always see the worst case on the internet. And that was something I would warn people about. Don't look at those pictures until you understand more about what this disease is and where you are in that cycle. It's the first time to a 2-day event. They've had 2 in the Salt Lake City area, the single-day events spread over a couple of years, and I went to both of those. And so I enjoyed that. I met Susan Thornton originally at one of those events, and she invited me to come out to this 2-day event. 2-day event gives you much more time to socialize and to get informed, to ask questions, talk to the different experts. And particularly for me, coming from my area in the Utah area over to Kansas City, I'm able to interact with a whole nother set of experts and patients. And I'm also now the group leader for the patient group in the Utah area. So when they bring in patients from all over the Intermountain West, the 6 states out there, I'm a group leader for that meeting that we have once a month, and I'm able to draw material to use and discuss from for that meeting from the foundation and their resources. Well, the thing I enjoy about the CL Foundation website is that they focus on how to deal with, how to live with the disease, and how to best maximize the experience with it. It's not trying to show the worst case examples out there, which I found on a lot of the other websites, particularly if you do just a general Google search. You get the worst pictures out there. CL Foundation doesn't have that aspect to it. They're trying to inform and educate people about it so that you understand what you're looking at, as opposed to just getting the visual image and then trying to figure out what that really means. They're always out there working with experts, trying to fill in those gaps on the website and making it most current. And so as their medical advisors and as patients and so forth are evaluating and looking at that information, they ask for feedback. And we've offered feedback before from our group, and that's been incorporated when they can put that in there. And they're updating videos. The videos that we do for these patient forms are put out there as a resource to be able to use, so you can go to the latest information and access that to use either personally or in discussion groups with other patients.